I'm here to share some quick relaxation techniques that you can do in 2 minutes. I'm calling them the 2 minutes to reset practices, and this is just a short list of 20 different activities, but just an idea of what you could do in 2 short minutes to reset your nervous system for relaxation. It's not an inclusive list. It's just meant to be creative to get you thinking about other things that you might be able to do. So the first one is to take first of all, though, you're thinking about doing this like in the middle of your day, something's going on, whether you're at your computer or with the family, and you realize that you have a headache or that you're getting irritable. Those are all signs that our body is trying to communicate to us that we need a relaxation technique. And the reason for 2 minutes is that the same mechanism that turns on the stress response is also the mechanism that turns it off. It's called the amygdala. You've probably heard of it. It's in the limbic system. And 2 minutes is important because the amygdala needs 2 continuous uninterrupted minutes of a message from its environment that I am safe, I am okay, for it to finally turn off that the alarm. It sounds the alarm for their stress response. And so when it turns off the alarm, then the body can access the parasympathetic nervous system through the vagus nerve and induce the relaxation response in the body. So 2 minutes is really key to get that reset. That's why I'm calling it the 2 minutes to reset. So one very simple activity is the breath. Breath is with us all the time. I'm going to go through these really quickly, not 2 minutes each, just to try and shorten your viewing time here. But breathing technique, very simple, to take 6 slow breaths where you're really concentrating on the exhale, trying to make the exhale as slow and quiet as possible. Right? And I like to do this. You can do this standing, seated, or lying down. But I like to do this by counting the breaths. So on the inhale, counting down from 6 to 1. So as I inhale, in my mind, I'm thinking inhale 6 and exhale 6. Inhale 5, exhale 5. Inhale 4, exhale 4. And continuing all the way down to 1. And if I'm not feeling like I reset, I'll do it again, counting down from 6 to 1. So the breath, it's always with you. Really just making sure that that exhale again is slow and quiet. The next one on the list, number 2, is to move the spine in all of its 6 directions. Again, this could be from a standing, seated, or lying down position. So we're talking about a hyperextension of the spine, a side lateral, right? And then twist, and then fold. So from a chair, this can be really satisfying because you can sit forward in the chair with the feet flat on the floor, ankles under the knees, reaching to the back of the chair, and you can take your back bend this way and your side bend. Staying for as long as you'd like to in each one of these, making sure that you're moving from the inside out. And the twist, again, you can use the back of the chair behind you to assist in that twist. Doing both sides, and then ending going down, flexing the spine. On the floor, it looks something like this. There's your hyperextension, your back bend, your lateral, your side bend, called banana pose, both ways. Your twist is here. And the fold. So that's number 2, working the spine in all but 6 directions. Number 3 is finding any symmetrical orientation of the body, really trying to work into the bones rather than the muscles. So from a standing position, for me, that means taking my feet 2 fist distance apart, Bending the knees enough so that I can feel most of my weight just in front of the heel. So the very back of the arch, the very front of the heel, you feel like the shins are moving forward and that the pelvis is neutral in space. Shoulders over that, arms at the sides, feeling that the collarbones are spread, the head is back like it's floating over the shoulders. And again, this could be a position in which you could do those 6 breaths. It might assist that by taking, again, the touch is really helpful to the reset. So you could place the hands on the body. Again, this could be done in a chair, as I was demonstrating, with the feet flat on the floor, the ankles under the knees, and sitting upright. So that would be your symmetrical position in the chair. And then on the floor, we want that 45-degree angle about at the knees. Again, the knees and the feet are about hip distance apart. That's 2 fists. Again, hands can rest on the body if you like, or just at the sides. And here again, resting. Just noticing what's arising, noticing any sensations, the point of contact, what's happening. Or maybe taking those 6 breaths. Number 4. Number 4 is to walk to the kitchen, walk away from the situation, and engage in eating a banana, nuts, or seeds. They all contain tryptophan, which is relaxing for the gut, and then that signals to the vagus nerve that we're heading into a relaxation response. Number 5, sing your favorite song, or laugh, or smile. All of that is a signal, again, to the amygdala that we're okay, and we access that relaxation response. Number 6, hug someone, anyone, maybe even yourself. Sometimes that's all it takes. But our 4-legged furry animals are great recipients of our hugs. Of course, anybody that might appropriately be in your vicinity that you'd like to share that with. Touch is gentle touch, appropriate touch, of course. Again, is another reminder to the amygdala that we are safe. Number 7, splash cold water on your face. So if the stress response is like the sun and it's heating, the relaxation response is like the moon and it's cooling. So taking a cold shower, splashing cool water on your face can be just that bit that you need to reset the amygdala. The buzzing breath. One of my favorites. Again, it can be done in any position. I'm just choosing to stay on the ground here, but the buzzing breath is a yogic technique. And how I like to do it, there's lots of different ways to position your hands, but a very simple way is to cover your eyes with your fingers and then use your thumbs to close off your ears. And you inhale through the nose and you buzz the exhale out like this. Ideally, 6 breaths if possible. I've heard from my teachers that that's all it takes. 6 breaths. Number 9 are eye exercises, which are super important given all this technology that we're engaged in. So this is holding the head still and then moving the eyes in all of its directions. So looking up, looking down. So going around the clock, right? Around the compass, diagonally, back and forth, in circles without moving the head, squeezing the eyes shut, opening them, and then blinking as fast as you can. And then sometimes it's nice to palm the hands, create a little bit of heat, and then bring that heat to the eyes, inviting it to soften. It's nice to release some tension. Oh, number 10, calling this the finger trace, very well-known technique with the breath. So again, it doesn't matter which hand you use. I'm going to point it towards you, face it towards you so you can see it, but it can be done here, very inconspicuously. But starting at the outside of the thumb on the wrist, you inhale up to the tip of the thumb, exhale down the inside, inhale up to the tip of the index finger, exhale down the other side. And you would use your breath to trace your whole hand all the way around to the edge of the pinky and down to the outside edge of the wrist. And if you wanted to, you could then trace it all the way back so that you can close the loop. I like that symmetry for myself personally. That was finger tracing. Number 11, color or draw. When was the last time that you did that? Probably not since you were a kid. Or paint, or whatever kind of creativity skill that you have, having a coloring book nearby, anything at all just to reorient your attention. That's what it's about. Number 12, legs up the wall. This is a great activity. It's also helpful for the immune system. A couple of different ways to do it here. This is the traditional way. So get as close to the wall as you can, laying down on your back and then taking the legs up. Hands can rest on you or down at your sides. For some of us, though, getting this close to the wall means that our hips lift off the floor, and that can create a lot of tension in the back. So if that's the case, you want to get farther away from the wall and try and line up the hips under the knees for this 90-degree angle. And again, it would be a great opportunity just to check into your surroundings, your senses. What do you feel, smell, hear, taste, touch? Or take those 6 breaths. So that was legs up the wall. Number 13, do a sun salutation. There are lots of different salutations, and you can find many YouTube videos about it. I have a few there, but very basic introductory sun salutation would be this. So from a mountain pose, upward hand pose, standing forward fold, half standing forward fold, back to plank, down to the floor. And it's all done with the breath. So it's the inhale to cobra here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, back to half standing forward fold. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, upward hand pose. And exhale, mountain pose. I would do it a little bit more slowly, but a couple rounds of those easily gets you to 2 minutes. Number 14, gaze at a still object. And so again, this is another great tension reliever for the head and the eyes. Any non-moving still object that's not a piece of technology. Again, you know, those vibrations from that screen. So it could be a light, it could be a picture, it could be the sun, it could be a plant, it could be anything at all that really inspires you in taking 2 minutes to just softly gaze at that object and keeping your attention there on the object, just as it is. Number 15, bouncing and palming. So again, taking those feet shoulder or hip distance apart, knees bent, arms overhead with the wrist relaxed. This is also a good set for the reset for the not only the nervous system but the immune system as well. Can be relieve any back tension possible. So a little bit of bouncing and then using the palm. It also gets into the fascial tissue, right? And then using your palm to palm the body. Both sides of the arms, down the chest, low back, the hips, the knees, around the legs, inside, outside, front, and back. All right. And number 16, a gratitude list. So this is about, I like to encourage people to do 3 different things for this list of gratitude. So one is something you're grateful for about yourself, and not maybe just your health, which is something that a lot of people go to immediately, but you know, something that's unique and special to you, right? I'm grateful that I can have this knowledge to share with you, right? that makes it more personal and more specific. And then you can talk about, what are you grateful for about another person in your life? And then what are you grateful for about life in general? Maybe that you have a roof over your head, you get to put food on the table, that kind of stuff. So gratitude can be a really great grounding practice. And along with that, we have number 17, prayer. If prayer is a part of your repertoire, taking 2 minutes out to relax and reset through our prayer to whatever your spirit is can also be a nice way to engage the relaxation response. 18, rubbing the temples. So this might be done better in a seated position so you don't have to fight gravity so much with your arms, but curling in the fingertips and taking the thumbs to the temples and applying whatever pressure agrees with you, but going in the same direction a number of times, maybe even all the way up to 36, and then changing directions with that. I'm sharing this from the Spring Forest Qigong lineage, and they recommend that you can use a sound along with this, and the sound would be Kerr. So you can go back and forth, clockwise and counterclockwise, doing Kerr on the exhale like this. Kerr. Number 19, we're almost there. Massaging the ears. This is coming from auricular therapy, part of Chinese medicine. We have our whole body is represented in our ears. So really applying some pressure and using your fingers to get into every fold and nook and the earlobes and rubbing and pulling a little bit. This also helps with waking up the listening part of your brain. And then number 20, our last one. So this is drumming the back of the head again with another sound. Again, this is coming from Spring Forest Qigong. So this one here, you palm the ears, and then you'll take the rest, well, I'll start with just the left hand. So palming the ears, taking the left hand, resting it on the back of the skull, the low back, and then tapping with the right fingertips. It's like your own internal drum. And then you would switch the hands, and again, the invitation is to do a sound along with this. And the sound is cho-e. So it goes like this. Cho-e. So there you have it. 20 ideas for 2-minute resets to induce and invite the relaxation response in the body. So there's a lot of sound ones going on there, and the reason for that is that the nervous system itself is based off of sound and vibration, and so we can interrupt what's happening with the stress response by introducing a new sound, right? That tries to bring that back into balance and integrate it back into alignment. All right, and beyond that, there's lots of different ways to go with it, so I encourage you to be creative and come up with your own. Just remember that 2 minutes is the key. Thanks.